Urgent, Commanders fan! Look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Commanders news. And don't forget to turn on notifications, so you don't miss anything. 2025 NFL Draft Grades Commanders commended for taking top-tier OT Josh Conerly Jr. The views and opinions expressed in this article do not reflect the opinion of the team. Thanks to moves in free agency, Washington went into the 2025 draft knowing it had the flexibility to take best player available or address specific needs. The best-case scenario, hit both of those with one pick. That's exactly what happened for the Commanders on night one. With the number 29 overall pick, Washington selected an exciting young tackle with a ton of upside in Oregon's Josh Conerly Jr. A 2-year starter for the Ducks, the 21-year-old Conerly was considered the total package in the eyes of Commanders general manager Adam Peters, as a super talented big man with great athleticism who has proven himself against the best of in college. Just as important to the Commanders brass is what a player is like outside the white lines, and Washington was really impressed with Conerly the person. The rookie will step into a unit that can take Commanders to the next level in 2025. With Offensive Rookie of the Year Jayden Daniels behind them, and the run game increasingly an important part of Washington's offensive identity. Here's how draft pundits graded the move. Chad McDonald, Yahoo Sports, Analyst. Conerly could be been drafted a whole lot higher than this, but for whatever reason fell to the end of the first round. Laremy Tunsil and Conerly will be massive upgrades for the Commanders at offensive tackle and gives them a chance to end up with top-tier bookends for a year or two. Danny Kelly, the Ringer Analyst. This pick makes a ton of sense for the Commanders, who had a talented rookie opposite the newly acquired Laremy Tunsil. Conerly, my 21st ranked player, has a burly frame but light feet, blocking with good balance and recovery skills. He can start at right tackle early on and then give the team a long-term starter on the blind side. This is a nice boost for quarterback. Jayden Daniels, Vinny Iyer Sporting News. Analyst, the Commanders could have considered pass rush but instead further shored up their offensive line in front of Jayden Daniels, giving Laremy Tunsil a bookend and a strong run blocker to replace. Shaky former Chiefs right tackle Andrew Wiley, Joseph Acosta, SB Nation Analysis. I wonder where the Commanders want to play him. With Laremy Tunsil coming over from Houston to play left tackle and Brandon Coleman having the versatility to play guard or tackle, Conerly could play either spot and use his athleticism and movement skills to get out in space, protecting Jayden. Daniels should be the top priority, and Conerly can play either spot. Ian Valentino, the 33rd team Analysis. The Washington Commanders needed either a left tackle of the future or a challenger for Andrew Wiley at right tackle. Josh Conerly can be that. He needs some time to address his overall strength, but his athleticism and instincts are NFL ready. Picking Conerly over Josh Simmons could prove to be a bold move either way. Jeff Schwartz, Fox Sports Analysis. I'm not sure where Conerly will play right now for the Commanders, but this is a play for the future. Conerly is only 21 years old with so much room to grow into his body. His improvement over the final 6 games this season is the reason he's in the first round. Michael Middlehurst, Schwartz, USA Today. Analysis, many had pegged an edge rusher for Washington, but the Commanders passed up a few notable candidates there to take Conerly. Still, it's understandable that a team looking to safeguard Jayden Daniels. An answer for the Eagles' unrelenting pass rush would want to keep adding top talent up front after trading for Laremy Tunsil earlier this offseason. Conerly can be eased in at right tackle before later taking over for Brandon Coleman or Andrew Wiley, with the latter not signed beyond 2025. Matt Verderame, Sports Illustrated Analysis. Conerly was viewed by many as a borderline first-round pick. As one of the top 5 offensive tackles in the class, at Oregon, Conerly started 28 games over the past 2 years, while being named first-team All-Big Ten and third-team All-American. Projected to be a starter on the left side, he could kick inside, down the line. Rob Rang, Fox Sports Analysis. Arguably the most athletic tackle in this class, his 10-yard split of 1.70 seconds led all blockers tested this year. Conerly possesses the elite feet that translate very well to the pass-happy NFL. He isn't quite as powerful as some of the other blockers of this class, projecting only outside, which limited his value to some. But for a club that just invested in Laramie Tunsil at left tackle, this selection is a terrific follow-up. Should Tunsil fail to live up to expectations for whatever reason, or if the Commanders aren't convinced, Andrew Wiley isn't the long-term answer. At right tackle, Pete Prisco, CBS Sports Analyst, has a player I thought would go in the first round, and the Commanders need more help up front on their offensive line. They won't be forced to rush him if he's not ready, but he has the talent to develop into a quality player. Not flashy, but solid pick. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Commanders news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Detroit Lions announce Major Jamison. Williams News Alabama Crimson Tide receiver Jameson Williams had a career year in 2024, and the Detroit Lions have taken notice. On Friday, ESPN's Field Yates reported that the Lions were exercising the fifth-year options for defensive end Aiden Hutchinson and Williams. Hutchinson was the second overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, while Williams was taken 12th overall in the same draft. Williams is still on his four-year, $17.4 million rookie contract with the Lions until the 2026 season, per Spotrac. He is set to become an unrestricted free agent in 2026. The Lions had their season end in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, losing at the hands of the Washington Commanders 45-31. Williams set a new career high in receiving yards 1,001, receptions 58, and touchdowns 7 last season. His college career did not start at Alabama, but with the Ohio State Buckeyes in 2019. He spent 2 seasons at Ohio State before transferring to Alabama, where he recorded 1,172 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns in 2021. However, things did not go well in his final college game, as he suffered a torn ACL in the national championship. Alabama lost that game to the Georgia Bulldogs 33-18. Due to the timing of the injury, Williams was placed on the injured reserve while recovering from his torn ACL, meaning he had to miss at least the first 4 games of the 2022 NFL season. He did not see the field in 2022 until Week 13 and played in 6 games. In 2023, he was found guilty of violating the NFL's gambling policy and had to sit out for the first 6 games. Williams violated the policy by gambling on college sports at the Lions practice facility. After the suspension, Williams returned to action and had 354 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns that season. A key piece of the Lions' receiving core is staying for the foreseeable future. Commanders' 47-sack worry addressed with Jayden Daniels-friendly. Draft pick the Washington Commanders have reinforced Jayden Daniels' protection with Josh Conerly Jr. coming to the franchise. Jayden Daniels' rookie season for the Washington Commanders was superb by almost any metric, as he won Offensive Rookie of the Year and helped the team reach the NFC Championship game. But he was sacked 47 times, the 6th most in football. That's a problem. Enter Laramie Tunsil, who was acquired via trade early in free agency. Now in the first round of the draft, the franchise doubled down and selected another left tackle, Oregon's Josh Conerly Jr. The move was perhaps a little left field, but it makes a lot of sense with Tunsil only around for a couple of seasons. It would allow Conerly Jr. to grow, develop, and then take over. The front office's decision to prioritize Daniels' protection is smart. The offensive line, which allowed 47 sacks last season, has been upgraded, which will allow coordinator Cliff Kingsbury to do some wheeling and dealing in the pass and run game. Depth is key here, and with fellow left tackle Brandon Coleman moving to right tackle for the offseason workouts, it is going to be interesting to see how things play out. The Commanders clearly saw a need to not only improve Jayden's protection, but also add depth, and they've done both. Defense was thought to be the move here, with edge and corner help, but this is clearly Daniels' ship, and the franchise's success will ultimately be determined by him, and Washington is determined to keep him upright. And the selection of Conerly Jr. might go a long way in helping achieve that. Adam Peters stuns Commanders fans with bombshell reported trade inquiry. Adam Peters is still being aggressive. The Washington Commanders made one bombshell trade at the cornerback position last season to formally announce their return to prosperity. A new report suggests Adam Peters is considering another major addition to his secondary. Peters doesn't have much in the way of disposable assets right now. The Commanders have 5 draft picks after landing wide receiver Deebo Samuel Sr. and left tackle Laramie Tunsil via trade this offseason. Most don't expect the front office leader to make another big splash on a proven veteran performer. that doesn't mean he's dismissed the notion entirely. And according to one insider, the Commanders have inquired about what it might take to bring all-pro cornerback Jaylen Ramsay into the fold. Commanders among teams who've reportedly called about Jaylen Ramsay, Armando Salguero from Outkick revealed that Washington and several others have been in touch with the Miami Dolphins regarding Ramsay, who's been made available for trade. He outlined that the compensation wouldn't be a problem, even for the Commanders, but the financial side of things is the most complicated obstacle to overcome. Ramsay wants to be on a winner. The Dolphins have talked to the Rams, Falcons, Lions, Commanders, Eagles, and others. The problem here is not draft compensation. Ramsay, if traded, may go for a fifth-round pick or thereabouts. The issue is the $2 million Miami would have to swallow in dead cap if the trade happens before June 1st, so any team wanting to make this trade now might be asked to provide the Dolphins with some cap relief on that number. Armando Salguero, the Commanders are right to make calls. That doesn't mean they'll take the bait, but Peters is aggressive enough to not rule anything out before finding out for sure. Ramsay remains among the league's best coverage presences. He's a shutdown presence at the peak of his powers and a sterling contributor against the run. His arrival would see the Commanders go into the season with one of the league's most prolific cornerback fivesomes. Even so, this remains highly unlikely. If the Commanders hadn't acquired Lattimore, Samuel, and Tunsil, it's a different story. That's not the case, so giving up another pick and taking on another substantial contract just doesn't seem feasible. Not when there is already so much money committed to the four-time Pro Bowler out of Ohio State. What this does prove is Peters won't be taking his foot off the gas just because the Commanders aren't rich in draft assets. He'll stop at nothing to make sure everything is in place for Washington to make another bold postseason bid next time around. That much is abundantly clear. If it means another trade, that's a price Peters is willing to pay. And now, Commanders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Commanders. I'll be back any moment with more Commanders news. We want Dallas.